This is The Litter Box, a Detroit Lions podcast with your hosts, Chet West and Bill Patterson.
Detroit Lions Litter Box listeners, we have suffered yet another blow to our 2025 season at the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles, and maybe at the hands of ourselves, maybe from our own hands. Maybe we're hurting ourselves at this point.
Do you mean gloves?
I knew, you saved that one. You didn't bring that up in the prep. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like Jared Goff in the gloves. Social media, Lions social media does not like Jared Goff in the gloves. I don't think anybody feels like Jared Goff throws the ball well in the elements. I know I made mention of it many times last night. I know there are other issues, but Jared Goff in the elements, I cannot remember a game where he has performed well. That's all there is to it. He has small hands. Bill.
So can I give you an interesting statistic?
Please do.
His completion percentage is better outdoors this season than it is indoors.
That tells me nothing that I care about.
Okay.
That tells me nothing that I care. I don't care if it's better. Last night he looked terrible. I've seen this happen before against good teams outdoors. Now look, you played who? The Commanders? They're terrible, okay? They're a reeling team that's beat up. We played the Packers in game one. We saw how well that went. I don't think that went that well. And then we get last night the Eagles, and that didn't go well. So who have we beat outdoors in foul weather when we've had any semblance of an offense at all? And Jared Goff missing receivers, behind him, throwing behind him. I mean, balls were going behind receivers. Balls were going in the dirt. There were a couple balls that should have been caught, but they were not his normal throws in the numbers.
No, they weren't, and this isn't where I thought we were going to go with this.
No, I know, but you poked the bear here.
I poked
and the bear is growling back.
All right,
and so there's a lot of things, though. I know there's a lot on your mind, too. Tell me what you're thinking.
Number one, Brad Holmes did not do enough to address the offensive line deficiencies in the offseason. And it reared its ugly head last night when you've got two big uglies in the fact of Carter and the newly acquired Jalen Phillips for a third-round pick that I wish we had for next year, but instead we've got Isaac Coleslaw doing nothing in the game. Apparently he can't get open is the word on the street now.
Boy.
So where I'm going with this is you did nothing to address the fact that your all-pro center, who is the centerpiece of the offensive line, which makes the offense click, you did nothing to address that aside from move a guy that may or may not have been washed up at the end of last year at guard to center, and you expected good things with later round draft picks.
I mean, a lot of people are going to tell you, though, that he didn't see that coming. I don't know that I believe that, by the way.
I don't believe that. No.
I think they needed to have a contingency plan in place, and Glasgow was not good enough.
I don't believe that for a second, because what I keep hearing from Detroit media, Dave Burkett, is that Ragnow was contemplating retirement 2 years ago.
Okay.
Remember, this guy played with a fractured throat.
Yeah.
How does one fracture one's
I don't even know.
throat?
It sounds very painful.
It sounds
terrible. I'm not sure how you fracture a throat.
So I guess my first beef with this
I don't blame him. I don't blame him for quitting. I don't blame him for hanging it up. I blame our front office for not having a plan past him.
But
it's not that easy either.
I didn't say it was.
Offensive linemen are gold in this league. Good ones.
Wow. Okay. Simmer down there. Simmer down. I didn't come across that it was Frank Ragnow's fault. I want Frank Ragnow to get his Honolulu Blue Blazer, have his number retired, I think he has 3 kids, maybe 4, his wife, his parents, her parents, his in-laws, show up at Ford Field and have, his induction. He deserves that.
That'd be lovely. That'll be lovely.
Okay.
I do too. I agree. He deserves that. I'm not saying
that is what we're talking about here. Jared Goff is what Jared Goff is. And if he has a clean pocket and play action works, Jared Goff is excellent.
I think he can even do fairly well under duress when play action is working.
Okay. Can I go to point 2?
Yes.
MCDC needs to give up play calling if he's going to do what he did last night. And here's where I'm going to go on this. You can't be the CEO and the sales manager or sales director, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, if you're not used to doing it. And he made 3 huge mistakes last night. Number 1, he basically gave the Eagles points at the end of the second half and took 3 timeouts to his pocket. He went 0 for 5 on 4th downs. And do not tell me the fake punt with friggin' Grant Stewart, who shouldn't even be on this team. I can't stand that guy. He ran right into the center and went nowhere. He didn't even hit a hole.
That happened a few times not just on the fake punt, but on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. We ran our running back right into Glasgow's behind, and he didn't go anywhere. Like, there was no push forward. And our running back just got stuffed for a loss.
In 4th and inches, if you're not going to just have Goff audible behind center and just all that takes is 2 taps. Every quarterback has this. We had it in middle school. We had it in high school. You tap the center twice, and it just means give me the ball, go forward, we're going to get in the end zone. If you're not going to do that, then kick the frigging field goal. This game came down to Chet, little mistakes.
Yep.
And those are the 3 biggest ones that drive me batty after this. So I give the defense, they're going to get, when we do game balls, the defense is going to get all of mine outside of Jahmyr Gibbs, who always gets a game ball. Outside of that, it wasn't a good night for the offense. It was not a good night for Dan Campbell. And Chet, it was like he'd already lost the house. He was already divorced. The kids he doesn't have visitation on. And he was like, I can't lose on 4 straight hands.
That's an incredible analogy.
I can't lose on 4 straight hands.
You're taking his children away.
And guess what? He lost on 4 straight hands.
I get it. I understand. Take a breath. Have a sip of something there and just take a breath for a second. I get it. Okay. I get it. But I do think there was a measure of desperation with our offense last night. I think this offense gets into situations and look, seemingly we just don't have the line. And I know this is a lot of this is on Brad Holmes. Okay. We tried to draft a guy in the 2nd round to play right guard. He has some of the worst pass blocking stats on our team. Our center has some of the worst pass blocking stats on our team. Awasika, who is playing left guard now, has some of the worst pass blocking stats on the team. Up the middle, we let so much pressure up the middle. Teams have now figured out we don't really have to come around the edge. We'll just go right up the gut at your quarterback, he's immobile, okay? Everybody knows that. Under duress, he's not great. But then on top of that, I mean, he couldn't even get to the 3-step drop before he had guys on top of him yesterday. You can't create a hot route hot enough to get rid of a ball when you have a rush coming down on you like that, to the point where you can't even drop back to throw. So I think there was a desperation that kicked in. The running game had its moments. As you said, Gibbs had his moments. Even Monty had his moments. But when you're playing down from behind, you got to move the ball through the air, and we couldn't get that done. And in the moments where we did have guys open, we did have guys there to catch a ball, either they dropped a catchable ball that wasn't perfectly thrown, or the throw was just so far off the mark it wasn't even worth it. So all in all, the offense was not clicking, except for when Gibbs broke a couple runs and got out in the open. I still don't think he's the greatest runner between the tackles. I think Montgomery's better in that role. But I would like to see, we have a decent run blocking team. We do. They grade fairly high, and we've seen some success there. But pass blocking is so bad that these teams just pin their ears back and crush us. So that's the offense in a nutshell, in my opinion. You've got a weak O-line, weak up the middle. If you're not going out around the edges, you're in trouble. And until we fix that, and the problem is, if you look at all the teams that are in about the top 5 or 6 teams in the league, they're all the first place teams. They have great pass blocking. Every single one of them has good pass blocking. So we have a little bit of a problem that we have to fix. And I think it's going to limit our success on the season, unfortunately.
So I believe the number 1 seed's out with the loss last night.
It is.
Okay, so is the offensive line...
Unless something crazy happens.
It can't, because right now the Eagles would have to go 3-4 and the Lions would have to go 6-1, and the Eagles would still hold the tiebreaker.
Okay. Well,
and there's no way.
Over.
I'll read you the Eagles.
We can't get a number 1. Yeah. Okay.
I'll read you the Eagles' schedule. They're not going 3-4.
I don't think I ever thought we were going to get the number 1 seed after game 1, pretty much.
Okay.
There were just too many things that were glaringly obvious to me along that offensive line that we were going to have issues throughout the season. We just don't have that strong a line anymore. And it's got to get fixed. If they don't fix this in the offseason, or they think they're going to draft guys, you know how I feel about offensive linemen in the draft. I feel like an offensive lineman needs seasoning. They need a couple years. Take Ratledge as an example of it right now. Awasika doesn't have that much experience there. I just think that you're not going to get a Penei Sewell every time. I mean, even Decker took a couple years to round into form.
So listeners, just know that Chet is adverse to draft picks, even in fantasy football.
I don't
there's
care
no
for
linemen.
them. I don't care for them. Give me experience. I'm the opposite in football than I am in baseball.
Yeah,
I love a good draft pick and a prospect in baseball. I have no patience in football for it.
So let me go through this, and we'll just go through the schedule real quick because I brought it up, and I want to check this box. The Eagles go to the Cowboys next weekend. Tell me what you think is going to happen.
The Eagles are going to beat the Cowboys.
Then
I bet they'll struggle. Their offense doesn't look great.
Whatever. The Bears go to the Eagles Black Friday.
I think the Eagles win that game, but I don't know. I mean, the Bears are on the way up.
Okay. Eagles go to the Chargers.
Who knows? I don't know. Herbert and the Chargers, they're having their own struggles.
Great. So count it as a loss.
Yeah.
Then the Raiders go to the Eagles. That's a loss. I'm not even going to let you retort.
Yeah. No.
The Eagles go to the Commanders. That's a win. Or excuse me, that's a win for the Eagles, loss for the Raiders. Yep. Win for the Eagles, loss for the Commanders.
Yeah.
They go to Buffalo.
I figured that's what you meant.
Yeah. They go to Buffalo. Who knows? Coin flip. And then they get the Commanders.
Yep. They're going to probably lose to Buffalo. Buffalo's humming right now. And I don't think the Eagles' offense looks that good. I really don't think it looks that good.
I'm not saying the Eagles
Chris Collinsworth tried to talk us into the fact that it was on the ascendance, that it was on the way back last night. I mean, our defense looked good, but how much of that was our defense looking good and the Eagles' offense not clicking?
So do we want to talk a little positive now?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's turn the page.
Okay. Game ball on the offense has to go to Jahmyr Gibbs. He was outstanding. Every time he got the ball, he was unbelievable. Do you disagree with that? You don't seem moved.
No, he had some excellent runs last night. He really did. He outplayed Saquon in my eyes.
And he was great out of the backfield catching the ball as well.
He was.
Is there anybody else you'd like to give?
That's where I think he really shines, to be honest, is when he's catching the ball out of the backfield and when we get him out around the edges.
Yeah.
And he's starting to learn, as Collinsworth pointed out last night, he's starting to learn to set up his blocks. He's starting to learn to cut inside and then dart outside, and that sets those blocks up. And I think that he could only get better over the next year. I mean, running backs, they got a short shelf life, but I think he's got a couple more good years left in him.
I agree. So let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Our guy, the rookie, first-round draft pick, Williams, number 91, was all over the place.
Got his name called a couple times last night, didn't he?
Isn't
that weird?
They stopped the tush push twice.
2 weeks ago, we would have said Williams was a wasted draft pick.
I know.
How much changes in 2 weeks? Motor City Dan Campbell was the savior calling plays 2 weeks ago, or a week ago. Tyreek Williams was a waste of a draft pick 2 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago. And now all of a sudden he looks like the D-line steal of the draft. He's definitely a great compliment to Ali McNeil.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, defense didn't look bad at all last night. They stymied the Eagles in multiple efforts. A.J. Brown probably should rethink his positioning. He played terrible last night.
I am so happy.
He looks like he's just lost.
For listeners, I offered Chet basically the franchise last season for him. I was begging Chet.
I tried to get rid of A.J. Brown at the start of this season, too. I had a feeling that
in fantasy football,
the sand was leaving the hourglass.
I basically offered Chet the farm. And
I don't know if you offered me the farm. You offered me a couple goats, but
he turned me down. And
a few chickens, maybe some
I'm pretty
eggs.
happy. Anyway, last guy, and he gets a new nickname. It's a Meek the Freak.
A Meek the Freak. Is that what we're calling him now?
He played a whale of a game, buddy.
He did well. And Rock Yassin did well. Both of those guys manned up against some what are supposed to be good wide receivers. They did pretty darn well. I'll give them that.
All right. So now that I've had a chance to exhale and you've had a chance to get some stuff off your chest or shoulders.
Yes.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm not down on Brad Holmes. I'm not down on MCDC. Okay. I'm not down on the franchise. They're 6-4. Everything's in front of them. They have 3 straight games at home. They get the Giants. That should be a win. They get the Packers, who are reeling Thanksgiving Day. That should be a win. Then they get the Cowboys after they get a full week. It's Thursday to Thursday. Then they get 10 days after that. Rest.
So can I tell you something interesting about this?
So I think they're going to win 3 straight.
I think the toughest game is going to be the Giants game.
Okay. All right.
I hope that doesn't shock you, but if you watch the Giants lately, especially if Dart comes back, I think that's going to be a very tough game for the Lions.
I disagree, and we'll do that in our preview.
We'll see.
So where I was going to go with this is it's not the plan. The plan's working. The adaptability is what's frustrating me. Meaning,
explain that. I'm curious.
Okay. So here's my thing. Clearly, the crossing patterns weren't working last night. Goff wasn't allowed enough time to get to his secondary, tertiary.
And he was wearing gloves.
Fourth.
He couldn't grip the ball. He has small hands. He has small hands.
For a 6'5" man.
He has like Kenny Pickett small hands, but not quite Kenny Pickett small hands, but a little bit just a hair bigger.
I need you and I to meet Jared Goff and we'll compare hand size. Okay.
We can, but I'm not a quarterback in the NFL. I mean, I've got little chodes for fingers here. I mean, he has small hands in comparison. Like if you look on like a chart of hand sizes.
So basically what Chet's saying,
to have one.
Chet's saying that he has a cocktail weenie.
I have sausage fingers. I have sausage fingers.
Jared Goff's a bratwurst.
Yeah. Well, slightly bigger than a sausage finger.
Okay. Gotcha. Anyhow, we digress. Coming back to it, it's moving on from the plan. Like save a 3rd round pick in case you need it for Jalen Phillips. So if I had to give one game ball to anybody, it would be Jalen Phillips and Howie Roseman for the Eagles for the fact that Howie Roseman traded a 3rd round pick to the Dolphins to get Jalen Phillips, which I wanted us to do. And Dan Campbell quit going for it on 4th down. It's not working. Quit trying to get the crossing routes.
I think there's games where he can do it and situations where he can do it, and I appreciate that he does it. But there are teams that he's just not, it's not going to work against. And in a game that tight, when points are such a premium, you can count 2 field goals we should have kicked that we didn't, and 1 extra point that we didn't have because somebody decided to slide down the goalpost. There's 7 points right there. That's a tie game at the end.
So do you want me to go on my rant on our receiver that
I don't know if you need to. I mean, do you? Do you feel like you need to rant about J-Mo?
No.
I think everybody kind of sees it, right? It's obvious.
I've already said it. He's not a smart human, but he is fast as hell.
He's fast as hell. He was very fast on that play, and then he very quickly ruined what could have been a good vibe by and then sat on the bench and laughed about it.
God has gifts for us all.
I feel like Amon-Ra was trying to talk some sense into him on the bench.
Well,
and he wasn't having it. Like he's looking at Amon-Ra like, dude, I do my thing, you do your thing. And I'm like, J-Mo, you got to listen to Amon. He's a smart man.
So
some of that's got to rub off.
This is kind of my final wrap on it. What's going on with the Sun God? Because he was not good last night. He was targeted 12 times, had 2 catches.
Here's what I think happens with him a little bit. And it should, and I think it did, open other people up. I think they're starting to cover him more tightly. I think they're using a few more resources to take him out of a game.
He was single covered on all 12 of his.
I mean, are we sure?
100. I watched the tape today.
Okay. Because I think they're doing a little more to keep him from being effective. But it should open up J-Mo more. And it should open up, well, we don't have Laporta. Do you think Laporta being missing had an effect at all?
Yeah, but again, that's not answering my question.
Well, I'll go back to your question. I knew you were going to throw that back at me. I just feel like they may be taking him out of the game. Well, what else? What other answer is there? Is he not trying hard? Is he no longer a good wide receiver? Is it the play calls? What is it?
Think that there's a way to neutralize him by bumping him at the line or in the 5-yard box.
That's how they're covering him.
And covering him tightly with a man that's a lot bigger than him.
Yeah.
His teammate at USC, Adoree Jackson, covered him last night, who I believe is well over 6 feet and has long arms, and it threw him off his rhythm. And
and last night could have just been an anomaly, too. He's had some pretty good games outside of that. I mean, he hasn't had any of his big explosive games, but he hasn't been terrible by any stretch. You're making it sound like he's A.J. Brown, like there's something wrong with him all of a sudden.
I think receivers are going to start aging like running backs do.
Okay.
And I think we're seeing the beginning of the end.
Wow. I think that's aggressive. I think that's an aggressive take, and you kind of prove my point in that they're covering him differently now. They're using different strategies on him. So they can have single coverage, but they're getting more physical with them, is basically what you're saying. They're using guys that are bigger. I don't doubt that. I agree. That's what I'm trying to say is I think they're playing him differently is all. And they're going to have to, Lions are going to have to figure out how to scheme him open and how to get him around that. And really, they don't have, here's another thing, the Lions don't have a sizable receiver. All their receivers are tiny.
Oh, stop, Chet. They do have a sizable receiver.
Well, I know where you're going.
And they traded 3 third-round picks for him.
I know.
And guess what? He can't get open or get on the field.
He can't get open. Apparently, he can't run a route.
You walked into that one.
Another reason why I don't like the preseason. We all thought Tislau was going to be great in the preseason against
the Giants are coming to Ford Field.
Yeah.
First game, I'm going to have to go to the bar or pub to watch. Right now, the Giants are getting 10.5 points. The money line is 425. The over-under is 50.5.
I think the Lions win this game just because they are usually good on the rebound and they're at home. I don't feel comfortable with 10.5. Something's going to have to go very sideways. You watch the Giants have been playing lately. They got some stuff going. They lost Scatabo, but they got 2 running backs who are doing duty, and they're giving people hell. They may not be winning as much, but they are keeping games close. I don't know. Jackson Dart's got some things working. If he plays, he's concussion protocol deal. But, they have some stuff working. I'm not ready to, I would not put it, I'm staying way away from that line.
The Sharps agree with you because it opened at 11.5.
And now it's down to 10.5. It'll be 9.5 by game time, probably.
Well,
what's the over-under? Do you have that?
50.5.
50.5? Could be a lot of points. We'll see. I don't know. Like, how does our defense not play well against the Giants, but stuffs the Eagles?
I think it's a rebound
How does
game.
That happen?
I think the Lions win 35-13, something like that.
Really? So you got them covering? You don't know about the over-under, though. You sound like you're right on it.
35-13 would put me at 48.
Yeah, so you're like right under it. You're coming up short. So you don't like the over, you don't like the spread. You like the spread, you don't like the over.
I said crush the over last week, and I couldn't have been more
We
wrong.
haven't been right on anything yet. I mean, whatever we tell you to do, just take the opposite.
So
You'll do better.
It's going to be 13-10 or 13-12.
Probably a 13-12 game.
Yes.
Lions win in a real doozy of an offensive battle.
All right, we'll have a more comprehensive preview for you on the Detroit Lions litter box.
Carl likes it.
Carl says Lions win big.
Is that what that translates to in dog? Okay.
Hold on. Nope. He said
he's backing out of it now.
No. He said what he said is Lions 10.5 over.
What he said is, folks, thanks for listening. We'll be back with our preview for the Giants game here later in the week. Thanks for dealing with us today. We're both a little surly. Go figure. Everyone have a good week. We'll be back with you in a couple days. Go Lions.